this is Sivakrishna, lecturer in Commerce and Management, St. Joseph Degree College, Kurnool. And I am also the member of EDCell and Yukti coordinator also. So, as a part of the lecturer sessions, we are here to discuss, I am going to discuss about the lean business and the minimum viable product. So, definitely a business require a minimum viable product and a lean business also. Why? Because a business want to flourish, it results by the way of getting profit means definitely all customers has to purchase the product and make utilization of the product, and they have to make some promotion of the product. So if a customer will get delighted, definitely our products are going to be increased more, and definitely we are in a good process, so that there should be a no problem for us in order to make this production. So for that purpose, what we have to do, we have to make a lean business model. So what is in this lean business model means we have to make some alterations or some arrangements to our existing product to make a product very useful to the public by eliminating some wastage products or by some wastaging material from our existing product. So generally all are thinking that if you are going to make if you are going to increase the price of a product, definitely you will get the profits, but it is not like that. If we are going to reduce the cost, definitely if you are going to reduce our cost, automatically our profit will be increased. So that is in the context of the business, but whenever we are talking about the startups, we have to make a improving process across the value stream in order to eliminate waste and deliver optimized value to the customer. So a customer has to get a good product on his own requirement for his own uses, so that he has to get a product which is not going to be discomforted to him. See, in the earlier stages, mobile phones are not able to carry by hand. Within hand you can't get the mobile. Of course, it is very hard to weigh and very having a not reachable position for us. But nowadays, simple, the mobile is in our pocket and you can easily go with the hand also. You can take only with the hand. And moreover, if you want to listen the songs, in the olden days we have a gramophone records are there, and from gramophone records now we are going to listen the songs with a help of chips. So how the business model of the music is going to be increased? So they are going to increase the value of the product by eliminating some storage or by weight to the particular segment of the product. So in order this way or in that way, we have to make a product to the customer which is going to be minimizing the wastage. So in electronic departments or BHEL or BMEL, there is a special post as the thing is that it is going to be minimizing the wastage. So minimizing wastage is very, very important in order to get the good products. So in this context, we are going to discuss about the point. A lean business is a business that maximizes value which minimizing wastage. So whenever we are going to minimize the wastage, definitely the product is going to get the good value. So a lean business model focuses on improving process across the value stream in order to eliminate waste and deliver optimized value to the customer. And the second step is lean business plan. So the lean business plan is typically a one-page document to describe your business strategy, including your goals, targeted audience, your business model, and how your sales and marketing strategies work to support your business goals. So in this context, I would like to say one thing. We have to concentrate on our targeted audience. So whoever called a targeted audience, so already we know that there are 5 types of customers are there: initiators, early adopters, majority adopters, late adopters, and laggards are there. So we need not to bother about the initiators, because they can purchase the product whether it may be good or bad. So whenever it enters into the market, definitely they will capture the product. So we need not worry about the initiators. Early adopters, of course, we need not worry about them also. Why? Because they may have some back end, but definitely they will purchase our product. And the majority is think that we have to concentrate it on the majority adopters. So if the majority adopters accepted the product and satisfied with that product, definitely the other two customers are also entered into our segment. So whenever we are making a business plan, we have to take care of exactly what is the targeted audience. So if you are promoting a product, if you want to do a business for a college people, definitely our product should be very reachable to the college people. It should not be reached to the other old age people or any small kids like that, because our target audiences are separate to our product. So definitely we have to make a clear vision that a target audiences. So it is going to be on execution of this plan, run, review and revise. So plan, you must have some plan. What is my product and how a product is going to be recorded, and a plan should be there, because without a plan nothing is going to be executed. So an execution will come with only plan. I have a plan and I am going to be executed. So if I am simply going to do work, the plan will never come. So whenever I want to do anything, definitely I should plan and make it run. So nowadays, in the olden days, we are going to think it is a analyzation. It is going to be analyzation, but nowadays it is going to be run. Why? Because this is very, very key important, that business plans, business agendas, business products or business services are going on to change and change. So it is not constant forever. So if you are going to release a product in this month, definitely the another customer or the another competitor will come with a better product in the next month. What happened to Nokia and Samsung is the same thing. So Nokia came with the Microsoft Windows and Samsung came with the Android version. So definitely, in order to make more sales regarding the Samsung, Nokia has to change itself. Why? Because our competitor is not going to say and is not going to see our success. Definitely he is going to have some another idea which is very, very better than our previous product. So in order to make the product version, we have to make another new step, so that we have to be run forever. So as we know that business means, the definition of business is state of being busy. So we should be run fast in order to make our competitors in the next end for us or back end for us, like that. Next, the thing is review. Whether we are going in a right process or not, we have to be review. Like that, how Sundays will come to the students to refresh whether they are in the whether they are updating the classes or not, like that. So a business plan also should have a review on that one, whether my business is going on to reach the customers properly or not. So they have to make a different sessions like that. And the thing is revise. So if any problem is going to be arised, definitely you should be revised. So the thing is that if you have the problem, you have to fix the problem, you have to adjust, you have to know the problem and you have to fix the solution for that one, and again you have to go in that one. So having a problem and going with the problem is the main defective for each and every business. So that's why whenever a problem is identified, definitely you have to go for a solution. So the solution part will come in the revisation. So as we already know that go error and drop error is there. So go error means we are continuing with a bad idea, and a drop error means we dropped a good idea. Of course both are blunders for a business. So we should not go like that. So we must have a revised session for that one. So a lean business plan must and should have like this fund. So how to build minimum viable product? So that's what I am going to define you. So sorry. The thing is that business plan advantages. So how a business plan advantage will have? So it will go for managed strategy, aligned strategy. So aligned strategy means you can know your suppliers, who are the suppliers for your product, and what are the tactics you have to make getting that production. Manage execution, manage people, and manage cash. So manage cash is a kind of business advantage, business plan. So what I personally suggest is that an entrepreneurship, that means a startup required funds and a business required cash. Business, why? Because a startup required early cash. A startup required early cash. Why? Because the cash, the funds are very, very important, because a person is don't having any kind of ventures like that. Suppose if you are in the business, definitely you have so many funds which you got from the previous experience. But a startup is a person who is just now started his business plan, so he required huge funds. So that's why he has to manage his funds. So that's why it is clearly mentioned that a startup required funds and a business plan required cash. So an important aspect we have to understand like that. And the next stage is minimum viable product. My next part of the session is minimum viable product. So a minimum viable product is a version of a product with just enough features to be usable by early customers, who can then provide feedback for future product development. A focus on releasing an MVP means that developers potentially avoid lengthy and unnecessary work. So here the concept is that if you are going on to produce a product, so if you want to release a particular product with the full uses, definitely if the product is going to be a failure, definitely each and everything is failure in your experiment. That's why you have to make a clear vision that you have to use the minimum resources, you have to make the good features, and you have to send a sample to the public. You have to market your product to a specified public, so that the public, whoever use your product, they will give the feedback. Definitely they will give the feedback, and that feedback you are going to get a idea where you are lagging in that one. So that lagging process is going to be covered with your new experiments. So that's why a minimum viable product is very, very important. That it is just like a pilot project what we are going to do before entering into the market. So here it is also one kind of thing, minimum viable. Minimum, in this minimum we are going to show you a candle, viable. So this can be used. So viable, in this one you are going to see the lamp. Definitely a lamp is going to have a good view also. And a product, a bulb or a filament kind of bulb is going to give a more attract. So directly if I am going to make a lamp, if I am going to directly make a candle, if I am going to directly make a bulb, suppose if that bulb will get failure in the market, definitely my entire efforts to make that candle is failure one. So in order not to make that kind of failure, what I have to do? I have to send my samples to the public in order to get the feedback. So after getting the feedback, I am going to make the proper use of that feedback, and definitely I will make my expertise to get the product which is required by the customers. Why? Because the requirement of customer sale is very, very important. Why? Because if a customer get delighted, definitely the other people are also going to purchase the product. Suppose if the customer is not going to get a satisfaction, definitely he will not insist to purchase the product for others also. So this is very clear that you have to be very careful regarding this point of view. So minimum viable product is a important aspect. So a startup has to enter with the minimum viable product. So I think this is the first stage where you are going to enter into the market and meet the public directly. So how to build the minimum viable product? So the next slide is that how to build a minimum viable product. So define your target market and the customer base. So for whom you are going to produce this product. So for whom the product is going to be manufactured for you. That means whether it is a service or whether it is a product, for whom you are going to define or for whom you are going to be utilized for that one. So suppose if your product is a face cream, definitely for the college students, that is a target market for you. If you want to provide a car which is having less than 1 lakh rupees, it is for the middle class people like that. So the target market you have to make and customer base. So what are the requirements of your customer at that particular segment also? What are the customers requirement at that particular segment also you have to know. Why? Because a person nowadays, a person or a customer is not going to purchase a product which is not going to solve his problem. Definitely whenever he is going to purchase a product, it should be seen that definitely the product is going to be get some kind of need to his problem. So next, the second one is identify the problem that your product will solve. So you are creating a product and that product is going to be a solution for the problem of the customer. So you have to see that one also. Next, identify the essential features of your product. Build an MVP of your product. Test your product with a potential customer. So generally there may be discussion that what is target market and what is the potential customer. So test your product with potential customers means potential customers are the people who are ready to purchase whenever it is released in the market. Potential customers are the customers who are ready to purchase a product whenever it is going to reach it in the market. So definitely you must have a understand that who are the potential customers. So based on the potential customers only you have to give the particular product. Next, the benefits of MVP are focus on core functionalities. So you should have clarity of vision, a development of early relationship with customers, a better understanding of customers' needs and a clear use interface. So these are very important for a startups. And the next thing is why do we need a minimum viable product? Why do we need a minimum viable product? So the allure of a good plan, a solid strategy and thorough market research for an established company mapped to a startup. So definitely a startup required a minimum viable product. So you can see that in picture. You have two boards, success and failure. So success and failure means if you have a good exposure on your minimum viable product, definitely you will get a success. Suppose if you don't find a perfect thing or if you are not going to get particular feedback, definitely it is a failure of your business. So all are going to say that failure is the stepping stone of success like that. But in this case, if a product is going to be failure, if a minimum viable product is going to be failure, you have to make so much of exercise and then get your success. So whenever you are going to learn from the failure, then only you will get success. Simply getting on fail, that doesn't lead to give you a success. So understanding the failure, for what purpose it is happened, and then you will get the success. So a minimum viable product is also showing the same way in this context. So in this here it is clear that doing without thinking about the process lead to execution problems in the team. So definitely you must have, whenever you want to execute something, so you have to know what is the execution it is required to establish a product. So the thing is that Early adopters love to use MVPs. Yeah, I just now I already told you that. Tailor the initial product to satisfy their needs. If no one thinks your MVP is interesting or sufficient, iterate or pivot with qualitative until they say yes. So definitely, whenever your product is having a good reputation in the market, others will purchase. But early adopters love to use MVPs, minimum viable product they want to love. Why? Because they are very eager to get the product whichever is available in the market. So it is very important to think about that one. So the goal of customer discovery is to test your understanding of the customer's problem and see if your solution will prompt him to buy the product based on the important features alone. So definitely a customer require a product which is going to satisfy his wants. So the goal of customer discovery, why? Because we have to know the customer importance. So the problem and see if your solution will prompt him to buy the product. That means the product whatever we are going to make, that is going to be a solution for his problem. So a minimum viable product is going to have that kind of feature. So whether the product is going to be adopted or not, like that. Why do we need a minimum viable product? So already I explained you in the last concept. So it comes with the lean startup. So a minimum viable product is a version of a new product which allows a team to collect the maximum amount of validated learning about customers with the least effort. So while we are going to make a minimum viable product, for what purpose we are going to make a minimum viable product? This is a key impact that whenever any problem will arise, definitely the customer is going to see our product. So our product should give a maximum utilization to the customer, so that the unnecessary material or the wastage has to be reduced. So that it is a important aspect we have to make in the content. So here a diagram will analyze you the clear picture regarding the minimum viable product, which is explained by Bernard Long. So a minimum viable product, so a minimum bad products no one wants to use, viable products built by companies with better resources, good products for startups to build. So definitely a business person require a product which is going to be used by the customers. Definitely if the customer is not going to get satisfied, or we don't have any kind of usage, means definitely the customer is not going to have the impact on our products. So we have to eliminate that bad products, and good products for startups to build up. So we have to know which products we have to go for the startup production, like that. And the viable product built by companies with better resources. So so many are good products in the market, but why should a customer require our product to purchase? So there the answer is that there are good products are there, but whatever is the product which is available in the market, our customer is not going to get a full satisfaction with that particular product, because he has a problem. So in order to eradicate that problem, we are going to get the feedback from the customers, and that feedback leads to a improvement of our product, so that a good product plus better resources, or effective resources which we are going to give a product. That's why it is called a viable one. So this is very important, that we have to issue a minimum viable product. So next we will come on to the lean startup business. We are going to come on to the lean startup business. So terms from lean startup. So lean startup, in that one we have so many things are there. Innovation accounting, minimum viable product. So minimum viable product is one of the lean startup process. So many have some doubts regarding how the lean startup is going to have a minimum viable product level. So minimum viable product, what is going to happen? We are going to give a product to the customers, That means not the total product, we are giving a some kind of sample size to the customers, so that the customer is going to give some feedback, and in that feedback whatever is the wastage and whatever is the unnecessary material is there, we are going to eradicate that one and we are going to give a new product. So in a lean startup business is also the same thing. So it is continuous only it is continuously going to decrease the wastage of the products and giving the best product. So minimum viable product will give you in that context. So continuous deployment. So deployment of resources continuously, cohort analysis. So a small group people or a people who are relating to that particular issue, they will come and analyze. Split testing, it is also just like a minimum viable product. Actionable metrics and a pivot is also a thing. And here these are some shorter versions and longer versions of the innovation science. Build, test, learn. So what we are going to know in that particular concept is called BOT. So build, operate and transfer. So just like how our National Highways of India is going to be started, because it is our duty of our politicians, or it is the duty of our government to build the national highways, but they are going to give contracts to the National Highways of National Highway Authorities of India Limited, so that they will build the roads and they will operate the roads. How they will operate the roads? Because they are not going to be get money from the government. So these authorities or these contractors are going to get money by the customers by way of getting toll gates. So whatever the amount we are going to pay for the toll gate amount is going to be drawn by the contract parties, so that they will get the amount back. And moreover, in these particular situations, if anything damage happened to the roads, they are going to be constructed again. So that is the operation and transfer. So after the completion of that particular tenure of 10 years or 20 years, or the amount which will be get back by the contractors, they will transfer that road to the government of India. So how a BOT is going to be like that? Here also a lean business or a minimum viable product is going to be like that. So build, test, learn. So here it is clearly mentioned that, so build products iteratively to meet the needs of early customers, reduce market risks and funding needed to find success and failure. Definitely it is that build products iteratively to meet the needs of early customers. So customers who are there, you have to make it that one. So after getting off that one, definitely you will get the knowledge how to reduce the risk which are going to face in the market, and failures are also. Test a hypothesis about customer behavior. So how a customer behavior is like that, we have to make some test on that one. Learn from their reactions to your product. That is the main one thing. That means you have to know about the feedback of the products. How, whether it is going to be a useful or that one like that. So the lean startup is in this way. So ideas, build, code, measure, data and so ideas, code, data. So minimize total time through the loop. So in this context, what I would like to say is, whenever anything is there, you must have an idea and you must code that one. So what is the code that one means? Code faster, unit test, usability test, integration, free and open source components, cloud computing, developers sandbox, like that. That means whenever you have an idea, you must build to the particular things. So I have an idea and I am not going to share with anyone. Is it useful? No. Definitely whenever I have an idea, you have to code. So in what way it is going to be useful to the customer? So a business is not going to be start by, of course, initially a business may start with a single person, but if the plan is executed and if the plan is going to give a good formula or a good profits, definitely the business is going to increase and the people are also going to be increased. The customers are going to increase and the production parts is also going to be increased, so that the business is going to be a important point. That's why whenever I have an idea, definitely I have to pass on to the other persons also and make it a data. So which is going to be a useful one. So a data is said to be a thing which is a true fact. So a favorite quote by Eric Ries is the lean startup. My goal in advocating a scientific approach to the creation of startups is to channel human creativity into its most productive forms, and there is no bigger destroyer of creative potential than the misguided decision to persevere. So definitely you have to get all the resources. Without resources you can't get a perfect match. So for that purpose, a minimum viable product should be there, and it should be a reasonable one. Thank you for giving the opportunity.